Welcome back to another training with John, your performance mindset coach. In today's training, we're going to dive deep into setting goals for business owners and why essentially 92% of people who do set goals never actually accomplish them. So how can we be part of the 8% who do? So goals is something that we've all been introduced to at some point in our own personal or professional journey. But it's one of those things that most people don't actually implement, right? We might set a goal, whether it be a New Year's resolution, or we set a goal for our business, or we set a goal for our health, but over time, the motivation typically wanes and we fall back to an old pattern. Why is that? Well, that's what we're going to try to dive into. So we're going to cover the importance of goal setting, some of the common practices business owners typically face, and we're going to look at some practical solutions using the SMART or GROW models, which we'll dive into. Don't forget, as always, there's a free download in the description for you, so you can help implement what we talk about. Goal setting. Why is it important? Well, simply, it gives us direction, it gives us the motivation to continue on that path, and it gives us a path to success, just like having a GPS when you hop into your car. Prioritize tasks, measure progress, and stay focused. It helps improve our decision-making ability and enhances our productivity. So what's some of the problems we see that we touched on around people who fail to accomplish their goals? Number one is they have a lack of clarity, right? They have a lack of clarity about where they want to go. Most people don't even actually take the time to sit down and map out a goal, so they have no idea of where they want to actually end up, which then leads to inconsistent tracking, right? If you don't track your progress, or you don't track, then what happens is you either take a wrong path or you're going in the wrong direction. Lack of intrinsic motivation, meaning that you rely on external motivation like money, etc., to motivate you to take action. So what are some of the solutions then? Well, we can look at the SMART goal model as being a template that's been used for decades around setting goals and has been tried and tested, and which is something that is certainly very beneficial when implemented and when used correctly, and then when tied in with what we have as we call ascension process. So GROW model is another model which is used in the coaching industry, which is goal, reality, obstacle, will, or what next. Ascension process then is what we're going to focus on here as well, which is how we tie it all together and bring it back to a process approach. The SMART goal model, right? So specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. So what this is, it gives you a framework that helps you, number one, get your goal on paper. Number two, be able to step back and look at it from a bigger perspective and start asking yourself good questions that help bring the motivation that you're going to need to take action, but also create things like timeframes, create things like measurable outcomes, create ways and processes for you to actually be able to go from just an idea onto something that's more concrete, right? So specific in terms of what are the specifics? Is it, don't just say I want to lose weight. How much weight do you want to lose? By when? What will that look like for you, right? Measurable. So how are you going to measure it? So again, is it, if it's pounds or if it's money, these things are always easier in terms of measurables. Attainable, right? Meaning, is it actually attainable based off of where I am in my life right now? So what resources might I need? What new information or new skill sets might I need? Relevant, how relevant is it for me based off of the path I'm currently on? Because you might have a goal that comes to mind, but actually contradicts with something else that you're working on in your life at that time. Timely, meaning what's the time frame? So it's a super simple model for you to use that can certainly be effective. GROW model then is goal. What's the goal? What's the reality of where I am right now, which is important, right? Again, going back to a GPS system, you have your starting point and your end destination. Obstacles. What obstacles might I need to overcome? Or what obstacles am I facing right now in terms of gaining traction? What now or will, right? In terms of what are the reasons why it's important and what do I need to do now in order to get this moving forward? And a process approach then, ascension process, is where we bring it back to the now. So we bring it back to today, what matters most, and how can I create a narrative around that then that almost becomes a story I tell myself that allows me to keep it top of mind, that allows my engage with my prefrontal cortex, that keeps it as something that we're moving towards, so we don't lose that motivation that most people do around the 2 to 3 week mark. And then we can also journal on it, which is going to help it bring it more top of mind. All right, so practical ascension. for your exercise today is do your SMART. Build out your SMART goal worksheets, build your narratives around it, why that's important to you, and use a journal prompt, right? So use the journal as a prompt for you to think deeper about your goal. Why is it important to you? How are you going to accomplish it? What am I going to feel once I accomplish this goal? Think of from your future self perspective. We're not going to dive too deep into that, but I do provide the worksheets again for you, SMART goal setting, so you can fill this in. We have the ascension process here, so I want you to come up with your narratives for your specific goals, or you might have one goal with 3 different narratives, whatever way you want to work it. You might have a personal, you might have a professional one for your business. Do what works best for you. Don't forget you can download these worksheets in the description area. Head down there, and don't forget to also check out the blog that is tied with this post, where we also give you some more insights into goal setting and stuff that can make it practical for you. So a couple of reminders: have a North Star. It gives you something to aim at, right? A goal is something for you to aim towards and something for you to step into. Bring it back to today. So we always want to then bring it back to a process of today and why that's important for us. Don't forget to use your imagination, right? Imagination is super, super important and a great way for us to develop that part of our intangible part of the world, right? Which is something we have the ability to tap into as human beings. So use it, right? Use the imagination to think about your goals, what that will feel like, and that can help bring it to, that can help basically make it stick at a subconscious level. So that is it for today. Don't forget to download the worksheets, head over, read the blog, and any questions you have, as always, reach out. I'm more than happy to help.